and welcome back to Cheeky Crypto. And today, guys, we are taking another cheeky look at 𝗕𝗏. Specifically, we're going to have a look at 𝗕𝗏 to the USD. We're going to have a look at the charts on the daily, the 4-hourly and the hourly views, because they're starting to look very interesting. They might be a bit of a turn here and heading up to the upside, Chris. So it's going to get interesting to just have a look at what's going on.
Yeah, we thought this was a really important video to get out, didn't we? Because there's been lots of nonsense being spoken, on Twitter and various other platforms. Lots of nerves around. It's not really going up anymore. What's going on? Did I get in too late? All that sort of stuff. And I kind of feel that's mainly because people have been pulling figures out of thin air.
Yeah.
Just overhyping it. And Nick and myself, we've kind of said a few times on streams that we hadn't seen charts like this before. They're going up, they're overbought, and this can't continue, right? And what we've seen is healthy. So yeah, Nick, do your stuff.
Absolutely. So guys, if you find it useful, informative, go ahead and smash that like button. Chris really appreciates it. I really appreciate it. And I'd like to think that you all appreciate it too. But of course, if you're new to the channel and you're not yet subscribed, don't forget to subscribe either. By subscribing, you will be kept up to date with all the various videos and live streams that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. Right, with all that said, let's jump on over to the charts, Chris, and take a look at what's going on here for 𝗕𝗏.
Let's do it.
Fantastic. So here we have e-gold to the USD on the daily chart to start with. And from here, I'm just going to get my pencil mark. We can see that we had that top up here, and that was kind of found both within these 2 days. So we had the wick from the 9th almost getting there, and the 10th of February here, it did make that top line at $214. So that was our top, and that's important. We needed that top as Chris was explaining. We saw this thing coming all the way up, but we were unable to see where it was going to stop. We were very much overbought. So if we look at this RSI, it was all the way up here at 97 on the indicator, okay? And considering we're overbought at an area of 70, it's really hard to stay up there for very long. So obviously a crash was imminent. Okay, and I wouldn't say it as a crash, it's a healthy correction, I should say, really, Chris, shouldn't I?
Yeah, it's just a healthy retracement. It had to happen, guys. It just had to.
It had to happen. And with every Fibonacci retracement, there's one of 3 zones that you're going to ultimately be coming down to. Okay, and I'm just going to show those for you right now, right? There's the 618. Okay, for us, that was $156.63 on this chart. And the 50% retracement, that's the $138.72. And then there's the 382 level here, $120.80. Okay, so you're going to hit one of those 3 as a bare minimum. Sometimes you hit 2, sometimes you hit all 3 of them, and if you're really unlucky, you come all the way down here, depending on what else is happening in the macro environment. But we're in a bull run, so ultimately we saw us hit this 618 pretty comfortably. That happened on the 12th of February, Chris. So we've had that's come down here, and it's worked quite nicely. Now, one thing we have noticed is our closing positions are below the 702. We need to actually get a close within that 702 Fibonacci level to really tick us over to the next, to basically get that motion kicking back up and move into the upside. If we don't get a close up there, we're going to struggle a little bit. So we want to see that happen. Right now, we are actually down here, right? So yeah, we're having a bit of a pullback, but that's actually a pretty healthy thing. It's struggling to go too low, and that's also quite good. So the other things that we can see are the volumes. They went up very steep, as you can see, as we went up with our candles. And ever since we had this top, the volumes have been decreasing. The volumes decreasing is actually a good sign. It means that whilst our candles are in a correction pattern, the volumes are lower. Okay, so people are still holding. Not that many people are selling, and not that many people are buying, which is odd because you'd usually buy the dips. Or as we like to say on this channel, Chris, we buy the fear.
We definitely buy the fear, Nick. Like, whilst everyone's looking at everything pumping, what are we doing? We're looking at like the ones that aren't going in the right direction, and we're like, is this undervalued?
Exactly. So what else can we see? The MACD on this daily chart is still very positive. It's very bullish still. And our RSI has come down from 97 towards our 70 level. So currently at 71, so our daily has been very, very nicely corrected. Now, if we just zoom out here, guys, we can see that we have actually just been up here in this RSI from a correction point of view, pretty much most of it, right? And from the word go, when we were starting down here, we went up to overbought, we came down, but we haven't actually been very low on our RSI. Okay, so the lowest point we can see here is 54. So we might only barely come back into this zone before actually swinging on up. So damage is still very, very small in comparison to what can happen on charts. So absolutely looking very, very good so far. But let's pull this down, Chris, into a 4-hourly view. The 4-hourly view is going to show us a little bit more of what's actually going on here with eGold and 𝗕𝗏 project. We can see, first of all, that volume really kicking up nicely and how it's decreased over time. Small pump up and then decreased again. The volumes at most currently on this 4-hourly chart, Chris, are very, very small, and it's actually a very good sign. We had that negative cross on the MACD about here, but that was pretty much because the RSI had a negative pullback right over here. So MACD is always delayed against the RSI, but the RSI on this 4-hourly chart, Chris, is now heavily corrected down, which is fantastic. We can now see that the 4-hourly RSI indicator is at 45. Okay, so significantly corrected, and we could be seeing an upswing any moment now. Okay, so the volume being low, the volumes can really pick up, and the RSI will also swing to the upside. That will obviously correct a positive MACD switch, and everything on the chart and candle-wise will also move to the upside. But we do still need to see a close inside that 702 or above, okay? So right now we have good support here on the 618, and we can see that from our formation, and we can see how they're pulling down at the moment with some negative volumes, but nothing to worry about too much on this 4-hourly chart. So what we're going to do is pull this down one level lower, Chris. We're going to have a look at the hourly chart. Okay, and again, that shows us a little bit more of the granular detail of what's actually going on. Just going to make those wicks and candles a little bit deeper so you can see exactly how this is forming out for us. So we can see that wick really coming down here and testing that 618 area. It was buying pressure at that point was too strong, and they brought it nicely up here. We had a bit of pump in volume, and ultimately when we were down at this point here, guys, the hourly RSI was actually indicating that we were pretty much oversold at that point. So there was only one direction you're going to go from an oversold situation, and that is back into the comfortable zone. Okay, so what we're actually doing now, if we look at this RSI, is actually heading down below 40, heading towards 30. That means that we're going to be pushing the price up any moment now. Probably by the time this video has gone live, Chris, we would have seen a nice healthy booster in price. So do not be too surprised if you see a candle too similar to this. Okay, significant price movement is going to be happening probably within the next few hours, I would have thought. So by the time this video has gone live, we should definitely be up here again, I would have thought. Okay, there's no indication in this chart with low volumes the way that they are that we're going to be oversold for any duration of time. It'll be pretty much the similar situations what happened before. So volumes are low, RSI is low, and some positive volume kicking in here is going to take this up to nice levels on the RSI. That's going to get us a nice price action on our chart here. And ultimately, because tomorrow is Sunday, Chris, when this video goes live, if we can actually close tomorrow's candle up above that 702 level on the chart, that is going to be the biggest signal that this thing is over, this correction is over, and we're going to be moving up next week to new high levels. So everything on this chart, Chris, is actually looking very, very positive. The RSI healthily corrected down, very, very low, approaching oversold. So we're going to see a price swing. The volumes are very low, so it doesn't take a lot of buying volume now to really move that price up as well. But if we pull this back up into a daily view, do a bit of a summary on what things are looking like. Zoom just in here for you guys so you can get a bit of a clearer view. We actually know that some things are different. We know the volumes are low. We know that the RSI is almost oversold. It's below 40 and approaching 30 rapidly. And ultimately, we know that we have good support here at the 618. And we know we need to get a close on Sunday within the 702 or higher. And that will be a good indication of things to come for the following week. So if we look at the price targets, Chris, for 𝗕𝗏 and what we're looking at as the immediate price target after this correction is over, and that is the $308.44. And considering how early we were in this project, Chris, I would not be unhappy with that, would you?
No, definitely not. To be honest, like with 𝗕𝗏, I'm likely to sell a little bit of it, and then it's pure profit, and I'll just leave it there then. But
yeah. So basically, just taking out your initial investment, right?
Yeah, pretty much. I like to lock in, where I can. So for me, it's locked in. Then I can just leave it and forget about it, because this one's going to do very, very well in my opinion.
Absolutely. So the second price target, once we get that 308 out of the way, is $460.26. Okay. So we'll have to see if we get a correction on our 308 level. Chances are that may happen, but it hasn't happened in some of these other moves to the upside. So we might just power straight on through here and head towards our $460.26. Or it might take a couple of steps in there, get a couple of corrections. But I think the sentiment is very, very bullish at that point. So a nice correction here on this RSI. And I think tomorrow will be in here briefly before moving on out. So after our $460 target, Chris, we have $612.07. That's the third price target on our Fibonacci extension levels. So this 3618 level is $612.07, and that's going to be a nice payday there as well. But the top end of our chart is indicating $705.89. So again, that's a nice return on your investment if you were in 𝗕𝗏 at the same kind of time that we were, Chris, because we were very early. I think we paid about $20 per 𝗕𝗏, not as early as some people, obviously, and but early enough that it doesn't generally, these corrections aren't really phasing us.
No, definitely not. Like, we're in super early. Obviously, we told everybody minutes after we got in, and we kind of said, go do your research on this one. You're going to love it. It goes without saying, none of this is financial advice. It's just purely our opinion. But the way the charts are looking like, should I say, it's probably a good time if you've been considering whether to get in or not. Now's probably a good time, in my opinion, not financial advice.
Yeah, not financial advice, but now at the point of recording it, it would be a very good time. At the point of actually watching this video, the viewers may have actually missed the boat, because I anticipate within the next few hours, this thing's already pumping and gone. So, we'll have to see if that actually comes out, to fruition. But hopefully you guys have seen what we've seen in the charts, and, you are able to act accordingly. Obviously, make sure you do your own research, not financial advice. We're not financial advisors, just merely our opinions on what we can see within the data here. So as always, guys, if you do find this video useful, informative, then do go ahead and smash that like button. Chris really appreciates it, as do I. And if by a chance you're not subscribed to the channel, do go ahead and subscribe. By subscribing, you will be kept up to date with all the various videos and live streams that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. And with all this said and done, we hope you have a fantastic day, guys, and we'll catch you all in the next one.
Yeah, take care.